Hey folks, XVIII here, and welcome to Let's Play Hell Wars 18 Soul Harvest. Hell Wars 18 is a game that I made. I made this for Ludum. I made it in 48 hours, basically from scratch and solo, and I live streamed the whole thing. Hopefully, you watched me make it, because it was a hell of a lot of fun to do, and always a great blast to live stream this game development. There'll be a link down below where you can play the game yourself. It is available to download for free. Legendary, so it's a 48-hour game programming competition, and this is my 12th time participating. So I made this game, I made it in Unity using some 2D stuff, and here we go. It is the theme for this competition was You Are the Monster, which I was really hoping wouldn't win because, like, just a couple of competitions ago, or maybe 3 or 4 competitions ago, You Are the Villain was the theme. So I was like, that's a little samey to the other one. Plus, I really wanted to make a game that incorporated names of subscribers and donators from the live streams. And I was like, oh, how do I do that? Going into the competition, I was like, I wanted to make a roguelike or maybe a platformer. This is neither one of those things. Hell Wars 18 is a sort of a tycoon-y management accumulation game based around tower defense mechanics. Let's go to hell and get started. So here we've got our portal. Some souls are coming in here, and what you want to do is you need to get these different chambers representing the 9 circles of hell, according to Dante, and you want to get the ones that match the sinners that come into your little portion of hell. So now we need a lust chamber over here for the sinners who have committed lust in life and are coming through here. Now, soon enough, there will be some demon lords coming through here that will be trying to steal my souls. There we go. And we need a gluttony thing. So we're going to have to build some towers to defend. We've got the Essential cannons here, which are nice long-range sniper towers, and the soul shredders are basically like little machine guns. So we should be able to tear this guy apart pretty easily before he gets to my souls. The first guy's pretty simple. Note, when the demon is coming, you'll get a notice about their health on the pop-up, and then in the bottom right corner over here, we can see our health, the wave number, and also the demon's health. There's also an upgrade button over here, which I'm going to get started on. I'm going to go ahead and increase the rate that souls come in through that portal. So they're going to come in twice as fast now. Also, I can click on this to accelerate the rate which they come through. Anger! And we need an anger and a greed. Ooh, and now I don't have any money for actual defenses. Okay, he wasn't able to steal a soul. Limbo. We need another limbo storage over here and another lust. Now, for every soul that's in one of these chambers, up to 10, which is 100%, you get money on every tick. Oh, that's not greed. That's a demon lord. That's a heresy. Heresy. I don't have enough money for one of those, so unfortunately I'm not going to get to take advantage of him. Notice a few things when I mouse over things. I get tooltip. I also get nice little range indicators. Really handy to be able to tell the range difference between these two. These range indicators are dynamically done as well. Soul shredder. So that if you get any upgrades... Oh no! He's sucking out some of my souls. So not only does that mean I lose the money from that soul, but he does damage to my portal. You can see I've taken some portal damage there. Yeah, if there's anything that happens to you that increases the range of your turrets, for example, these here, right? Bonus turret range. Or also, we have these damage and range boosts and different things like that that have their own little radius. Demon Lord approaches. And that will dynamically change the size of these circles, including when you're trying to place things down. Also, the DPS counter there, which is pretty handy. I'm going to go ahead and add some more damage per bullet here, which is going to make a pretty substantial difference to our defenses. Here's the demon. You can hit space to go to him, or hit this zoom to button. And just throw a couple more of those in there. Oh, good. Essential cannon. The Essential Cannons, which are the sort of sniper turrets, have really wicked range. And they do have less DPS, you can see here, especially as you add damage per bullet, because the Shredders have a very high fire rate. But it is really nice to get the extra range. It'd be nice if I could get that 7th circle of hell going on there. A demon lord. Really need to make my economy a little stronger. There we go. We'll get Heresy finally loaded in here. That's going to make a big difference. The higher the level of the sinner, the more money you make per tick. Where's the demon coming from? He's coming from the northwest. Soul shredder. Essential cannon. Let's get a few more defenses, and we'll be able to rip him up pretty good. All right. So I know a lot of the mechanics, and anyone who watched me make this knows the mechanics, and a lot of them may have found, like, the game easy. I saw a lot of comments, well, the game's too easy. And then at the same time, I see lots and lots of comments from people talking about how the game is way too hard, and a lot of people failing. So it helps to know the mechanics, of course. What other upgrades can I get? More range. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to get the soul capacity for chambers increased. That way I have to build fewer soul chambers here. I still don't have a level 8 or a level 9, which is too bad. But at least now I don't have to build any of the others. Oh, I lost a Heresy Soul. 2 of them. 3 of them. Ooh, and now my health is down to 95%. So I'm still okay right now. We need a Violence one. We don't have that yet. So let's get that started. So we're still missing a level 8 and a level 9. Let's go ahead and accelerate the soul rate here. I'm just going to click on there. You can also click on a chamber and increase the rate at which it processes the money ticks. So obviously you want to do that on a higher value one as much as possible. There we go. We got another demon coming in. What can I do here? The game is paused, as you can see here, while you're in the upgrade view. Soul generates more money. I got to go for that. And you know what? This upgrade, turret range upgrade, is pretty cheap right now. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that too, because it actually will do a pretty big thing. I'd want it to make it so you could click on the Demon Lords and deal some damage. We don't have that yet in the game. It'd be really nice if I could get a level 8. Level 8! Get that down there! Fraud! Nice! I'll have to defend this area fairly well, because obviously this is going to be a high priority area for me. Now, let's see here. A Demon Lord approaches. It might be worth putting a boost range. Oh, hold on. Boost damage on this guy, actually. Oh god, more. Soul shredder. So you can see the range of the boost here. Anything that's touching the blue area will get the damage boost. They do stack. You can keep piling on more range boosters if you want. But what I actually want, or damage boosters, what I want is a range booster here. And then I'll try to pile on some more stuff. You can see here the soul shredder range here versus here. And yeah, you can keep stacking the boosters. Now, whether it's better to put a bunch of boosters together or a bunch more towers, well, that's going to depend, isn't it? Okay. Oh, at level 9. Let's get Treachery. We want it somewhere relatively well defended. Can I stuck it in? Nope, not quite enough room. So let's get it going there. And let's get a nice block of, you know what I want? I want a fire rate booster, and then a bunch of Essentia cannons around it. Because their biggest weakness is a poor rate of fire. And if we can get, say, more damage per bullets, that's going to be pretty stupendous. And more fire rate. Okay. Good. The demons are going towards the nearest chamber, but it's weighted based on the level of the souls inside. They're willing to travel a little bit further for higher level souls. Depends, like, it's a percentage thing. So a level 9 chamber, actually, I don't remember how I weighted it. They don't get like a 90% discount off, but it might be like a level 1 versus a level 9. I think they're willing to travel twice as far for a level 9, so they change things, how they weight stuff. Faster souls, yes. I mean, faster souls doesn't help if you don't have enough chambers for them, but right now we've got quite a bit. And let's fill these out. We've got lots of room in a lot of them. We do have the increased capacity. We need some more Limbo Souls. So let's go and do that. Now, the Limbo Souls are interesting. They're lower levels, so you don't mind losing them. So you could use them to tank on the outside, but you have to remember that any soul stolen will do 1% portal health damage. It doesn't actually matter what level we're talking about. That is another heresy we need, so let's get that going on there. Essentia Cannon. Soul Shredder. Actually, let's use more Essentia Cannon. The damage is so much lower, but the range is amazing. They just fire so much more often and earlier because of the range. We need some more greed going on here. Let's go and get a damage booster in here. Get some Soul Shredders. Now, they can't reach that much right now, but later on, it'll probably come up more. Let's go ahead and maybe get a range booster in here, too. You can see the range is getting bigger, and we can keep upgrading that stuff. More fire rate, more range, portal regeneration we can get. I'm not going to worry too much about that. I think we can survive without it. +1 range for boost towers. So that's very interesting. So your boost towers now have increased range over here. So you can fit more things inside of their radius, which is quite nice. Soul Shredder. Right. Range. And now all of a sudden we got pretty big range on my Soul Shredders. They're almost like sniper towers at that point. We need some level 7s and level 3s over here. So we better defend this little island. Soul Shredder. Now, one of the guns I haven't put down yet is a Soulzuka. Soulzukas are very interesting. A Demon Lord approach. They actually use souls from one of your chambers to fire a bullet. And they actually have a double radius. Like if I put down a Soulzuka, you can see the green area, which is their range, and the blue area, which is where they will suck souls from. So Soulzukas are interesting. They do damage equal to a percentage of the demon's health. We need a level 6 and maybe a level 4 over here, and this would be a great place for a Soulzuka. Like that. Now, they do percentage damage based on the soul. So, Heresy Soul is a level 6. So I think this Soulzuka will do 5% plus 6 times 5%. So 35% of their current health as damage. Not maximum health, current health. So they do more the more powerful a demon is. But as a demon gets weakened, then they will do less. And in fact, they won't fire at all if the target is below 20%. There's a soul. You can see that. So the Soulzukas are very important because the demon health goes up exponentially. So it's very important to get Soulzukas, otherwise your normal guns simply won't be able to cope. However, you can't use Soulzukas exclusively because at a certain point they just simply stop firing and stop doing anything because the percentage health would be too low. Also, they do eat some of your souls, although in practice, they prevent many of your souls from being stolen. We're going to go for more chamber capacity and more powerful bullets over here. So right now we don't have to build anything because all of our chambers just got a little bit of extra capacity, which is nice. We can maybe summon a few extra souls, get our income going a little faster. Oh, we've unlocked a new upgrade. Every time that flashes, there's an upgrade available. 50% faster turret fire rate. I like it. By the way, if you're curious how this game was made, I will be following this up with a example, with a video going through some of the new mechanics, some interesting mechanics here. We need some more fraud storage, we'll do that. Protect it with some soul shredders. And we'll keep going up there. Now, the price of the guns in the chambers do not scale up, so ultimately they start to become relatively cheap. I had considered making them all scale up in cost, and probably they should. But one of my goals with the game is to make a game that is beatable. For Ludum Dare. And specifically, I aim to try to make something that's beatable within about 5 to 10 minutes of gameplay, because the judges only spend a certain amount of time on each game. So it's got to be the sort of thing where it takes maybe a while to figure out the mechanics, but then once you've figured it out, it's not too bad. We need some more lust storage, so let's get that going on over here. And
darn it! I mean, damn it!
Heresy's a pretty high level. Let's go ahead and put another Soulzuka over there.
Soul Shredder.
There we go. And that's lots of Soulzukas. I think there's a bug that Soulzukas are supposed to share a 5-minute global cooldown, but then individually have about a 60-second cooldown, and they clearly fire much faster than that. So I think there's a bug in how the Soulzukas were implemented. So they do fire a lot more frequently than they probably should. So you can see here, he's not supposed to fire that often, so there must be a slight error in my check. I must use an or instead of an and. Still, that's okay. We need some level 7 storage. Let's get that over here. In fact, it might be within range of the Soulzuka, which is totally okay.
Soul Shredder. Essential cannon.
There we go.
Another Demon Lord approaches.
All the Demon Lords are named after donators, and all the Lost Souls over here are named after subscribers. We need more level 9 storage. Let's get it there. And let's make sure this is defended by a big damage boosted set of Soul Shredders.
Soul Shredder.
More damage boost.
A Demon Lord approaches. Soul Shredder. Soul Shredder.
Tell you what, since they're being boosted already, let's boost their range as well.
I mean, damn it.
So they might be able to start firing over there. That'll be pretty good. More upgrades. We want souls generate 100% more money. Wow, that spent all of our money, but it's probably a good idea. We need some more level 1 souls. We'll put that there. And some level 5 souls. You can see them wander around with that little question mark. They've got nowhere to go.
Soul Shredder.
Okay. No one else is just wandering around. That's good. Let's get more damage per bullets.
Hell's Bells.
Hell's bells. Watch your language. Okay, no souls are just wandering. Just clicking here to get them to come in a little bit faster. Each click takes, I think, like a quarter of a second or a half second off the cooldown. And at this point, the cooldown is so short that basically every click is summoning another soul, which is nice. We can even get it a little faster. Let's do it. And a little bit of portal regeneration, why not? So it's only half a hit point per 10 seconds, so it does regenerate pretty slowly, but it's not bad. There we go. You can see the soul cannons really hit for a lot. It seems a little overpowered, but again, I know the mechanics, so I sort of know how to build it. And you'll see later on, the soul cannons will bring a demon down, so you basically can't even see the health bar anymore, and it'll still have like 10,000 hit points, and seem to not die very quickly.
Soul Shredder.
Damage. You can see that guy lasted a pretty long time, actually. The portal is starting to get a little bit better. That's good. Hey, more soul capacity, sure. That way I have to build fewer things. It's a little easier to defend. And why don't we go and summon more souls to start filling these bad boys up? Yeah, more turret range.
Another demon lord.
Turret range is an indirect way to increase your damage per second, right? Because if more turrets can fire at once, because more things are in range, that's pretty good. So you can see his hit points, still got 10,000. A couple more soul blasts, but those soul blasts really stop doing much after they get that low. You really have to rely on your other guns to get the job done. Okay, we should be going for a victory. I think we can win perfectly fine on this one. Now, there's a certain amount of randomness. The map is not randomized. Really, it's a question of the position that the demon lords come in and what souls you might get early on. But it's not particularly random. Once you've figured out the game, it is pretty beatable, and that's okay. It's part of the fun. All right. Still no one is just wandering, so our souls are good. I don't need the boost tower range, I don't think. I mean, it's a nice upgrade to get later, because again, then your boost towers are covering more turrets at the same time. Ooh, I need more level 7. More violence.
Soul shredder.
There we go. And let's put a Soul Zook over here. That's pretty high level souls. So they can do some pretty good damage that way. Alright. Defended ourselves again. Ooh, we need, I think, some heresies.
Heresy.
There you go. We ran out of storage for them. Oh, and some lust. There we go. There's no penalty if you let one of the souls pop because they can't find a chamber in time. I debated doing something like that, but I think that was mostly just punishing, people who'd already have a hard time with the game. Let's get even faster turret fire. Unraveled Mine, the old one of blasphemy. Coming in from over there. Their range is so big, they're basically, they're practically out of the game zone, and they're still being fired at. And that's a good thing.
I'll be back.
Alright, no one's just wandering around, good. Nope, I don't need any of those. I think we're doing okay. Summon more souls. More souls. Oh, we need more red storage. Anger.
Soul shredder. Demon lord approaches. Soul shredder.
And yeah, I think the price of the turrets should definitely scale up if I'm trying to make something hard. Again, we're not looking to be difficult here.
It's just a flesh wound.
Boom, dead. Okay. Oh, we need more orange. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and use a cheat to show you what the end looks like. So I'm going to use a cheat here, boom, to give myself $1,000,000, which means I can grab this upgrade here for the 9,001% faster soul intake from the portal. Boom! Oh, what did you do? Did you really try to increase your soul intake over 9,000? Great, now you've done it. You've torn a hole in the fabric of the universe, and now the very concepts of space and time are meaningless. You are now trapped forever in a formless void, if forever even means anything anymore. So, congrats. So that is the victory. So the victory screen, a little bit bland, but I feel it's very important to have win and loss conditions in games to sort of make them a game, and so I want to have something in there, and because normally these sorts of games could probably mostly go on forever, or go on until you lose, basically. By having the waves get progressively harder and harder and harder, which definitely starts to happen. Again, the hit point of the Demon Lords goes up geometrically or exponentially, or, one of those. So eventually they would just have so many hit points that you really wouldn't be able to beat them down, especially if the cost for each turret went up, Just imagine the cost for a turret went up by 10% for every turret of that type. Then all of a sudden it starts to become very expensive to keep placing things down. You got to vary things up, you got to use the boost towers more often. And the problem with that is it does start to be a little bit more complicated to balance. And again, based on what I'm looking for the competition, in other words, learnable and beatable in, 5 or 10 minutes of experience with the game, this is a good spot for that. But if you're trying to make something a little bit more challenging, then I think that would be the thing. But there you go. So I'm going to make a follow-up video where we talk about some of the mechanics in this game, because this has a hell of a lot. For a game that was made in 48 hours, there's an insane amount of content here compared to what you'll find in most games in Ludum Dare. I have to do that because I'm not as good at making something that's particularly witty or innovative or, you know, pretty with lots and lots of really good art. So instead, I compensate by having lots of mechanics based on just pure programming skills, which I can at least, you know, spam out some stuff. Not the world's greatest programmer, but I'm pretty darn good at programming, especially compared to all the other things. So, and I know Unity pretty well. This is what I used here. Used Unity in the sort of 2D mode to do it. You can toggle into sort of a 3D mode here, but that would be weird. So yeah, this over here. And yeah, so stay tuned for another video where I demonstrate, where I talk about some of the mechanics in here. For example, my sound management system, which is a pretty interesting thing. Some of the things like the buildable areas for the turrets. Also, how to determine whether an area is buildable, which is done by actually just basically using some colliders on the areas that aren't buildable, for example, and doing some collision checks in there, and so on and so forth. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.